Hi guys, welcome to this video tutorial on academic report writing. This video is presented by me, Dilhumor Исраилова, English language instructor of National University of Uzbekistan, named after Mirza Ulugh, and my first year student Hasanov Bazarbai. Today, we are going to look at the structure of a good academic report. What is academic report? This can be very tricky, especially if you are a freshman. So let's start with the basics. The first thing to look at when writing a report is the structure. The structure is very important because it will help students to organize their thoughts and make it easier for language instructors to read and assess students' work. A good way to do this is to use clear headings, subheadings, and numbering. Let's look through main parts of a good report. The first part of a report is the introduction. This is where students should write what your report will cover. In other words, it's the scope. Next, you should clearly identify what's the purpose of your report. For example, this report examines environmental issues in lakebed zone of Aral Sea and suggests ways to improve environmental policies and facilities at macro level. This tells us exactly what the report is about. You should include any background information so that your instructor will understand your report. You should also include any key terms the report will use. That's the introduction sorted. Now, let's move on next section. The next section is sort of like an extension of the introduction. It's called procedure. If you are writing a short report, you can include this section in the introduction to save space. Otherwise, though, you should give in its own section. The procedure provides information on how you gathered the data related to your report. Did you use a questionnaire? How did you find the respondents? What groups of people were targeted? How many people were surveyed? Did you perhaps perform some sort of scientific experiment? Or did you observe something as it happened in real world? Whatever it is, this is the part of your report where you write exactly how the data was gathered. Once you have gathered your data, you will include it in your findings. This is a part of your report where you write about exactly what you have found out. What did your respondents say? Reports often use lots of tables, graphs to display information quickly and clearly. The findings section is also a good place to outline anything that went wrong when you were collecting data. In most cases, problems can be useful for your research. In fact, sometimes you can learn more when things go wrong. The important thing is to say what happened and why. You need to discuss these causes and implications of the problems you encountered. The next part is conclusion. This is where you summarize what you have concluded from the successes and from the failures. What did the data tell you about your topic? What did this mean? Now, remember, the conclusion should discuss the information in the report. You shouldn't introduce any new information here. The main purpose of the conclusion is to summarize the rest of the report briefly and succinctly. The conclusion should also provide the link between your findings and your recommendations. The final part of your report is the recommendations. What are the logical next steps from what you have found out? If something went wrong, how could you fix it next time? What have you learned and what does this suggest you could look further into? how can someone else use your report to guide their own research? There is always more to learn, and this is where you show to your lecturer or tutor that you understand how your report can fit into the body of academic knowledge. And that's it. That's the basic framework for an academic report. If you have any questions, let us know. You can write your question to the email given here. Bye for now.